Do you want your entry-level IT employees to be an asset immediately or in 5 years?
Yeah, that would be immediately.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's not. There's realistic expectations, I think, about what somebody that's just starting out in their career can do. They're an investment. I appreciated that part of the report saying it's not just interns. Interns, you kind of know what you're getting. For us, I mean, there's not a huge difference between an intern and somebody that's green straight out of college or just starting their career. It's an investment either way. And so what you're trying to do is make good investments. And I'd say 5 years is way too long. So yeah, I mean, they're going to be becoming a valued contributor within hopefully months. Yeah. There's the full recognition and acknowledgement that when I hire somebody that's at entry level, I'm going to be training them. I have dedicated people doing nothing but that, just training them. That's fine. I don't have the expectation that they will have experience with certain technologies. I guess I'd like that if I could find that, but it's not. I can't find that, so I'm fine with just training for the technologies. I'd much rather select people who have those workforce readiness skills, and that's what's going to make them a good investment. Because it's going to take me some time to train them in the specific technologies. But I think there might be. I think part of the confusion might be from a failure to make certain distinctions between certain kinds of jobs, and I think it's both employers and maybe in the academia and the training communities. There are different kinds of jobs, and they don't all have the same requirements. I guess that was one of the sections of the report. Some of the jobs really are about the technology, and I could see an employer, if they've correctly identified their job is one of that type, saying, look, I just need somebody who knows this technology, this skill, because that is what they're going to be doing. And when the technology changes, that's right, they're going to need to learn a new skill, right? But then there are other kinds of jobs where that doesn't matter as much, and the technology is going to be changing more quickly, and there are other things that are more fundamental. And I think both the employers would probably be better served in recognizing which kind of job do they have. That would help them make better selections. And then the students and people training them also need to make those distinctions too, and say, what do I want to do? What am I going to be prepared for?
Peter, I'm guessing you can't wait 5 years either.
Yeah, 5 years that was a loaded question. That's really not the case. And right immediately, entry-level hires. We use technologies, many of the technologies that have been trained in the universities, but we also built our own web frameworks and different things on top of that. We use specialized software packages to deploy our insurance systems. They need to be educated on that as well. But what we look for is them to be able to, and we've built training programs that will bring them right through that. What we found, which is really a tribute to the universities that we work with and that we get students from, is that they get to be productive, almost what I'll call an FTE-like person on a project within a year. And that's pretty impressive, actually, when you look at the technologies that we're using and how complex that systems are. So it is working in the universities. I do agree with Tony's point, though, about it's not. You can't sacrifice that depth, because if you sacrifice the depth, you're really not going to get to that year, because we're going to have to train them basic programming skills or something else that they didn't get. So you have to have workforce readiness as well as the technical skills, education going through that. So we've been very successful. We do quite a bit of entry-level hiring, and we measure that. And every student's different, and we do aptitude tests to make sure when they come in, believe it or not, there are college graduates out there that really don't have a CS degree that don't have the aptitude for it, so we screen those out. But for the most part, it's been very successful. We actually did an experiment, where we hired a couple of folks who really didn't have hardly any programming skill coming out of college. Had an IT degree, but really no skill to speak of. Maybe they did a Hello World application, but that was about it. But they had good workforce readiness skills because they were a good communicator. They would culturally fit with our organization well. So we felt they had good aptitude. So we actually put them through the program, and they've progressed just a little bit longer than the others. So it is possible to leverage that, but prefer to have the technical skills as well as both. I mean, we want it all, right? So it's difficult.